Elliot Cadeau, the most polarizing player in the country by far. When he's playing good, he's doing stuff like this and looks like one of the best guards in the country on one of the best teams in the country. When he's not playing good, he's doing stuff like this and it just makes you scratch your head. Whatever your opinion on Cadeau is, someone else has the exact opposite viewpoint and they'll disagree with you no matter what you say. So use this time to drop your take in the comments and see what everyone else thinks and what the public consensus is of Elliot Cadeau. So let's take a look at his recent film and see what's going on with him and how his performance could impact Michigan's chances of winning a national championship. And we're going to start with the bad, as his most recent performance against Northwestern was his worst game of the year, as in just 22 minutes, he had a minus 17 plus minus despite having 9 points and 7 assists, and that's because his decision making was very poor. The first possession, he starts in the corner and lifts up, and when he's able to catch the ball on the move like this, he's so dangerous, but he misses a wide open layup. Now let's run that back real quick. This needs to be a left-hand layup, because if it's a left-hand layup, he can extend it all the way to the glass, but as he's trying to go up with his right hand, it's awkward, and this is just a really tough shot. Now we're in semi-transition, and this is Cadeau at his best when he's able to get downhill in open space. But let's run this back real quick. After the in and out, that last dribble isn't a pound because he kind of loses the ball, and because of that, he explodes further away from the rim. So this is another really tough shot, and it's a hard angle for anyone to make. After the made free throw, Cadeau's getting picked up full court, and again, this is where he's at his best when he has this much space. But after he beats Jaden Reed, he's tunnel vision and never sees the help defense, and he's exposing the ball the entire time, not moving it in midair, so it's an easy block. Not only that, but Northwestern gets a free layup after that block. When Cadeau is sped up like this, he's not at his best, and I think this is the key to trying to beat Michigan, because there wasn't a single pass made on this possession, and Northwestern was able to get a free 2 points from the leak out. Dusty May draws up great baseline out of bounds sets. This play, it's going to Morez Johnson, and if Yax can seal and get this entry pass, that's the first read. It's not there, so now it flows into a dribble handoff, where Cadeau loses the ball once, and instead of picking it up and trying to reset, he tries to foul bait, and this is just a terrible look. It's a terrible look. A literal minute goes by, and he's inbounding the ball on the baseline out of bounds play. The initial action doesn't get open, and this is a great shot if he were to shoot this. He doesn't, he overthinks it, and he takes a much worse shot. And it was after this shot where Dusty May got fed up, and he benched Elliot Cadeau for the rest of the game. But after this, Michigan's offense came alive as they outscored Northwestern 46-21, including a run where they made 11 field goals in consecutive possessions. But I'm gonna be fair to Elliot. He made 3 threes early in this game and they were all off the catch. He's not just a good shooter off the catch, he's a great one as he's shooting 43.3% from behind the 3-point line off the catch, which is in the 91st percentile. But the problem is, his volume on these shots is fairly low because more times than not, he's turning this look down in order to try to create something else. So now let's take a look at his on-ball creation. Michigan loves to play in transition, but it was Cadeau's bad spacing that ruined this possession. He's just hovering around the elbow, setting screens, not really doing anything. Then Trey McKinney tries to get a ball screen from Ade Mara, but because Elliot Cadeau's right here, instead of by the wing or by the slot, McKinney can't run that ball screen, so now Cadeau runs the ball screen, and this is one of the worst no-look passes you'll ever see in your life. He was thinking that Yax would lift up, but Yax will only lift up if Cadeau gets deeper downhill, which will force Martinelli to tag, and then Yax will be open on the lift. But Cadeau never even checked it. He wasn't looking the entire time, and that's just a careless mistake. And a couple minutes later, he wound up that bad pass with probably the worst pass you'll see all year, and I just don't understand the idea. If Yax was cutting for a lob, this pass is way too high. If he was flaring out to the corner, the ball landed 3 feet out of bounds. Like, there's no logical explanation as to how and what. I don't know. Next clip. This clip is great defense. This is what you're supposed to do in transition. Just cut the ball handler off and give the big enough time to block a shot. Great defense, tremendous job. Now in transition, this is just another terrible pass. It's supposed to be a lob. It's so low and so behind. If this was on target, Morez is dunking this and the place is going crazy. It's just a terrible pass. I just don't see the vision on this clip. He comes off a ball screen and he throws an awful pass and Jake West is able to capitalize with 2 points. Now, I will give him some credit. This is bad spacing on Yaks as he allows Nick Martinelli to guard two players at once, but I just don't see the vision. I don't think he ever looked at Jake West, and not only that, but he's fading away to the left side as he's throwing the pass to the right. There's no juice. It's a super soft pass right to the defense, and it's two more free points. He also had some really cool assists. As he comes off the ball screen, this hang dribble allows him to read the court. Mara gets past, beautiful lob. He just needs to slow down because when he slows down, he does really good stuff like this. As he comes off a screen, he's reading number one. If number one tags, he's kicking it out. But number one stays on the perimeter, so it's an easy lob. This is great offense. Michigan's running a Spain pick and roll, and Northwestern late switches, so now Elliot has the mismatch. He backs up to recollect himself, gets downhill, the defense crashes, beautiful read to a three. The reason he throws wild no-look passes is because sometimes he throws beautiful ones. Comes off a dribble handoff, no help, one-handed flick in rhythm, like that's beautiful. This is the point guard film you should be watching if you're trying to get better. When he comes off a screen, he's just hanging, probing, moving the defense, pocket pass to the big for an and one. And that game against Northwestern was Cadeau at his worst. Against Michigan State, he was the closer and he carried Michigan to victory after MSU came back. With Michigan up one, Cadeau comes off the ball screen and the hang dribble allows him to see the court. He sees where he needs to get to and he knows how to get there. This is a pretty tough shot, but it's a shot that's in his bag and he knocks it down. The next possession, Jackson Kohler hedges, and this hesitation is all it takes to freeze the low man Carson Cooper so he can make that lob pass knowing Cooper can't get there in time, and Morez finishes the play. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And when Fears falls down, Cadeau knows that Cooper is gonna retreat, especially after giving up the dunk on the last possession, so he just steps back and knocks down a wide open three. This is the last chance MSU has to get a stop or the game's over. Cadeau walks by Jeremy Fears, slows down enough to see Carson Cooper step up, makes a beautiful pass. It's game over. I didn't talk about his defense very much, but he's a terrific on-ball defender, especially in this system where Michigan has so many bigs. They just keep Cadeau on the perimeter, he harasses guards, he gambles a good amount for steals, but he doesn't have to worry about getting beat because his help is there. With being a great on-ball defender, I would say he's a pretty average off-ball defender, maybe even below average, and that's just because sometimes he doesn't seem engaged and he just misses rotations or leaves his man wide open on a cut. Michigan's national championship hopes come down to one simple question. Can Elliot Cadeau put together 6 good enough performances in a row? And honestly, that good enough is not a crazy bar. He doesn't need to put up 15 and 7. I think 10 and 5 will do the job, and then maybe 1 or 2 games he'll be tasked with carrying and leading, but all he has to do is just not be a net negative. And my answer to that question is no. I don't think Cadeau can put together 6 consistent performances, and here's the reason I say this. The way March Madness is formatted is it's the round of 62 and the round of 32 in a weekend, and then a week break. Then it's the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 in a weekend, and then another break. Then it's the Final Four and the National Championship. This tournament is as much mental stamina as it is physical, and especially with a team like Michigan with all these expectations. And I think one game this tournament, Cadeau won't be locked in all the way, then he'll try to force the issue to overcome that, which will only dig Michigan a deeper grave. And this tournament is going to have so much talent. There are so many elite teams, and all it takes is one to go home. So that's my take. Let me hear yours in the comments below. If you made it this far, you the GOAT. I love all of y'all, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.